Good morning, all. Bullhorn Betty here. It's great to see you this beautiful Sunday morning. I hope you are having a wonderful time with you and your family. I just wanted to get on here just for a few minutes just to talk about the Bryan Kohberger case and some updates, some interesting updates in this matter. If you don't know who Bryan Kohberger is accused of killing Kaylee Gonzalez, Maddie Mogen, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin in their off-campus housing on the outskirts of the University of Idaho on November 13th in the early morning hours. They believe anywhere between 4 and 4:20 in the morning when they were killed. This is an article. Many of us know that Bryan Kohberger was trained at DeSales University under Professor Catherine Ramsland, which was the famed author that covered BTK extensively. Now they're saying that there is links between BTK and Bryan Kohberger. In addition to that, they're investigating BTK on 2 additional unsolved homicides, one from 1976 of a cheerleader and one from 1990. Check this article out and let me know your thoughts. Hey guys, so here's a case. This is related to BTK. It's from the Sun. I have to be honest with you, I'm not very comfortable with the Sun. They purchase articles from people that just write them. They don't really check the sources and things of that nature. But for this particular case, and since BTK's daughter actually spoke in it, I thought it was a little interesting. So this is a new probe into BTK, which they're saying is connected to Bryan Kohberger. It's for a cheerleader from many years ago that they're trying to connect now to BTK. So I thought this was interesting since Bryan Kohberger did study under the famed author Ramsland, that studied BTK extensively, worked on his autobiography, and with Bryan Kohberger being in her class, it's possible that he has tried to make contact with BTK specifically. So that's what this article is about. So I'm just going to read it. New probe, BTK serial killer linked to Bryan Kohberger case has prison cell searched by cops as new cold case investigation opens. Prison officials have reportedly overturned the cell of infamous in-prison serial killer Dennis Rader as investigators have reopened a nearly 50-year-old cold case and may have connected him to the accused Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger. The daughter of Rader, known as BTK, killer for how he bound, tortured, and killed his victims, i.e. BTK, bound, torture, kill, believes he has been in contact with Kohberger, which is 28 years old, and there he is, not a good-looking guy whatsoever, real creep, but in all fairness, did look normal at one time. However, investigators are more interested in his connection to this death of the 16-year-old cheerleader from 1976. BTK linked to Kohberger. Kohberger, 28, was charged with the murders of the University of Idaho students Ethan Chapin, Zana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, who were fatally stabbed November 13th in the early morning hours in their off-campus housing on the outskirts of the University of Idaho. It is very common for people in the public, or criminology students especially, to correspond with my father via letters and sometimes talk to him on the phone. This is from Rader's daughter, Carrie Rawson. She recently posted some of my documents that I acquired on her Twitter page. Other than this, the pair were also sought by and worked with the same serial killer expert. Kohberger received his master's degree in criminal justice at DeSales University, where the student of forensic psychology, there was a professor, Catherine Ramsland, a known expert in serial killers who has wrote several books. Ramsland worked with Rader on his autobiography, as I said earlier in this article. Since Dr. Ramsland had a long-term academic relationship, an intimate relationship with my father, and a personal relationship, I wouldn't be surprised if Kohberger at least tried to contact my father or had contact. Rawson said. She added, "We don't have proof of it, but we would need to see letters at Kohberger's home or at my father's jail cell." In an interview, Rader said he can relate to Kohberger. However, he confirmed that he never spoke with the former PhD student. Kohberger has been held in solitary confinement at the Latah County Jail since his arrest at his parents' residence in Monroe County, Pennsylvania on December 30th, 2022. Since I spent from February 2005 to April 2005 in my cell by myself, I know how he feels, Rader told Fox News Digital. Very lonely. Kohberger's trial date is set for October, and he has denied all accusations against him. The cell ransacked. So Rader, who is serving life sentence for murdering 10 people over the course of 2 decades before his capture in 2005, revealed to Fox his cell has been tossed and belongings were taken in the midst of the reopened case. The BTK killer has been investigated in connection to unsolved disappearance of Catherine Dawn Kinney. Kinney was a 16-year-old cheerleader when she went missing and was last seen leaving her aunt and uncle's laundromat on June 23, 1976. In April, Osage County Sheriff Eddie Verdon and 2 other investigators visited the killer at the El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas. He was questioned over the disappearance of Kinney and that of Shauna Garber, 53, on Halloween in 1990. Garber was raped, strangled, and was found dead a month after her disappearance in Missouri, but was not identified until 2021. The BTK killer denied involvement in both of the cold cases, saying he was done talking with the sheriff and had enjoyed meeting the 2 investigators. Sounds pretty cocky to me, doesn't it? Once back in his cell, he realized it had been ransacked and items had been seized. He said everything that I had wrote on or kept was gone. Later that day, 1 box returned with no reason why. After looking into the details of both cold cases, Rawson is uncertain about her father's supposed connection to them, as she claims it doesn't follow his style of stalking, keeping journals, invading homes, and taking trophies. Rawson has not had contact with her father since March 2021, following a court order ensuring that he cannot contact her. Poor baby. She seems like such a nice girl as well. So there it is. There is a couple other unsolved homicides that are potentially or possibly linked to BTK, which they have linked to Bryan Kohberger due to the famed professor that Bryan Kohberger, was taught under. And, BTK's daughter believes that Bryan Kohberger has at least tried to attempt to reach out to BTK at some point in his past, whether through the teacher or anonymously or by a pseudonym. But she does believe that he has been in contact with her father for some reason. In that, thought you'd be interested in it as well. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you turn that bell to all. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, please be safe and kind to one another.